This statement has changed the way I view myself significantly. I used to feel like a super big fraud and kind of irresponsible because I'm very big on faith and just trying my best to apply the word. And that verse that says, speak things as though they were, I am queen at that. However, I would start to feel like a little bit of a fraud because I'm speaking things as though they were and I'm not seeing any change. So I started to become like willfully ignorant to some things because to preserve my faith, if I wanted to speak things as though they were, I personally could not look at the current situation. Even though one of my favorite stories is the story of Elijah when he put his head between his knees when he was talking about there was rain, and I don't know why it went over my head. Even though he wasn't necessarily looking at the situation, and I personally believe he didn't do this so it wouldn't disrupt his faith by what he sees, he was still able to receive a report. And no matter what the report said, because he came back, I think 6 times before the report was what the Lord said, he was still able to receive a report. That doesn't mean that he believed it, but he was able to at least hear it. And sometimes with me, it's like I don't want to hear the negative. I don't want to hear that things aren't looking the way that I know God said it's going to look. I don't want to hear that I'm a lender, not a borrower, but yeah, I'm still borrowing. Like, hello. And I would be willfully ignorant. And then a pastor said, you can receive a report. You don't have to believe it. And the benefit of receiving the report is so that you can now take that report, take the name of whatever it is, and give it back to the Lord and come to Him with specificity. And that simple phrase kind of made it real for me. And I stopped feeling like a fraud because I'm able to acknowledge that a situation is what it is, but I don't believe it. I'm not going to speak it as though it is. I'm going to speak the opposite. But now I can go back to my Heavenly Father and be like, look, this is what they're saying. I know what you're saying. The two ain't adding up. So one has to go. And obviously it has to be your report and not man's report. Hope that helps somebody because it definitely helped me.